Hey everyone, it's the final round and the first round. My name is Jordan, and this is Luca. Can you all give Luca a happy birthday? He is now 1 year old. A lot of you have been with this channel for a long time, and you probably remember when he was being born, and I didn't make many videos for a while. Luca wants you to all like and subscribe, and let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes like we did the last video. And if you're saying, oh, you named your son after a basketball player, my name is Jordan and I was born in the 90s, so it happens. So you will see images that come up on the screen on both sides. It's from a data app called Outlier. There'll be a link in the description for a 7-day free trial for Outlier. So this first game is the Wizards versus Sixers. Sixers are 13.5-point favorites, and the Wizards just beat the Bucks, and they're going to be on a back-to-back, and they're going to be traveling. They did not have Alex Sarr in that game. It was a surprise win for them. For the Sixers, Andre Drummond and Paul George are questionable. Quentin Grimes is probable. And then they have Joel Embiid listed as out for this one, which is surprising because they're not on a back-to-back. So I figured they'd want to play him for this one. But if Andre Drummond does not play, this could be a sneaky one for a guy named Adam Bona, a backup center for the Sixers. Whenever he gets that opportunity, he plays pretty well and has one of the best matchups for centers. So lines aren't out because of the back-to-back. The rest of these games, the rest of the 5 games, do have lines. So we'll get into those. And as for a lean, I'm going to take the Sixers at home. I know the Wizards just got a nice win, but last time I faded the Sixers, they ended up winning big. So I'm going to go with the Sixers here. And this next game is going to be the Trailblazers versus the Raptors. Raptors are 5.5-point favorites. Drew Holiday remains out for the Blazers, and Donovan Clingan is questionable for the Blazers. RJ Barrett is still out for the Raptors, and it's been a good thing when it comes to taking props when you have one of the Raptors main guys out, because then we know more volume is going to go to some of these guys because they have a lot of really good scorers, and you just kind of want to stay away. But now we've seen Brandon Ingram get a lot of volume. We've seen Emmanuel Quickley get a lot of volume. Scotty Barnes isn't quite up there, but we know he can. So the Raptors have lost their last 2 games to the Hornets and to the Knicks. The Blazers have lost their last 2 games to the Spurs and the Thunder. And the Raptors have not covered a spread in 3 out of 4 games with RJ Barrett out. I think both of these teams are pretty even when it comes to talent. So a lot of lines for this matchup is extremely high due to a lot of injuries. But one I'm going to point out due to the matchup. And normally when I point out the matchup, a guy who's been doing well and has the best matchup at a position like Pascal Siakam against Cavaliers, he just hit. These guys normally do really well and they hit their lines. So Emmanuel Quickley for over 17.5 points. He has the best matchup for point guards against the Blazers. So Blazers giving up the most points to point guards over the past month. With RJ Barrett out, he is covered in 50% of the games. So you could knock it down to 15 if it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable with it. And then he's covered in 3 out of 4 games without RJ Barrett. He's averaging 17 shots a game without Barrett. So really like the volume there. Really like this really good matchup for him. So he's the one that I like the most out of this entire game. Like Deni Avdia's lines are really high. Shaedon Sharp's coming off the bench and playing some weird minutes. Jeremy Grant's been off and on. Like it's not like it used to be. There's nothing I really love right now for the Blazers. But as for a lean here, I know the Raptors haven't been that great without RJ Barrett. They've been better at home, so I am going to lean them at home. I do think both teams are pretty even talent-wise, but I think the game will be close. So 5.5 points could be enough to swing the Blazers' way, but as of right now, I'll lean the Raptors. Next game is the Grizzlies versus Spurs. Spurs are 5.5-point favorites. Grizzlies, Jock Landale is questionable and Ja Morant is still out. And then for the Spurs, they will not have Wemby or Stephon Castle. Past 6 games without Morant, the Grizzlies have covered in 5 of them on their spread. The Spurs have covered in 5 of their last 7 games, and the Grizzlies was one of those games. They beat them on November 18th. 111 to 101. So it's definitely a great matchup here for De'Aaron Fox. So the Grizzlies give up the third most points to the point guard position. He had 26 points against them earlier this year with Castle out and Wemby out. So he's covering 5 of his 6 games. I know he's just barely going over it, and it can be a little scary. So you could bump it down a little bit to feel a little bit safer. But the matchup is there. I do like him, and I also like rookie Dylan Harper, who started off the year, he got injured and he came back, but I like him for his points. He's covering 8 out of 9 games this season. I returned from injury 3 games ago, didn't play that many minutes, and he did not go over in that first game returning, but since then he has been going over. And since his minutes are going up and Memphis is a matchup for high pace and high scoring, I like him. And then for the Grizzlies, someone that's kind of taken off lately when it comes to rebounding is Zach Edey. Zach Edey has just been crushing it with rebounds. So you see on the screen that Denver game in between all the big games there. He got injured. He played just 6 minutes and he left that game early. But if you remove that, you'll see he's averaging 16.5 rebounds over the last 4 games. And he did have 11 rebounds against the Spurs earlier this year, but he was on a 25 minutes limit, and now he's playing into the 30 minutes, a little bit above 30 minutes or right at 30 minutes. So if you got 11 and 25, you give him 5 more minutes, I'm pretty sure he's going to get another rebound. So really like where his rebounds line is at and the way he has been rebounding. There's him, and then one more Spur. I'm going to go back to the Spurs. My notes, I went right back and did a final check and found another guy I like. So someone with Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle out that has a 100% hit rate is Keldon Johnson off the bench for his points plus rebounds at 19.5. He has been great off the bench scoring and rebounding. I know Julian Champagnie has been getting a lot of attention with his rebounding, but Keldon Johnson has quietly been rebounding well as well off the bench. So he had 18 points and 7 rebounds against the Grizzlies earlier this year. For a lean here, the Grizzlies have been pretty tough lately. The Spurs have also been playing well, but once again, I think home court advantage here is going to be the factor that's going to swing things. So I'll take these Spurs at home. And then that's halfway through the 6 games. If you guys could, please like the video. I already mentioned last video, I said, can we get it to 1,000 likes? And you guys did it, and that was awesome. So it helped boost the video and get it out there for more people to see. And thank you so much for that. That was amazing to see. So let's try to get every video up to 1,000 likes. So let's try to get this one to 1,000. And then if you do have extra time, just write a W in the comment section and press submit, and that helps get this video out there for more people to see. So thank you for that. And then I did mention in the last video, I'm not going to do a premium. I'm not going to hide picks behind a paywall or do a membership or anything like that and charge you guys. I feel like instead of you paying and then hoping that you win, how about I do my work on my end? I do the best I can to give you an analysis. You go and you play slips based off the analysis. If you win and you feel like giving back, if you felt like it was valuable, then you can give back. I have my Cash App and my Venmo in the description. It's fine around 11, and you're just supporting the channel to help me to continue to do this and give good analysis for you guys. So it's like a reverse of it. And then also, if you can't do that, signing up with promo codes and just putting in $10 on some of these things helps out as well. So I do want to shout out Onyx Odds and Novig. These are social sports books. You can bet these in all the states you see on the screen, except for California. I believe it went away in December, so it started on December 1st. You can bet money line spreads and single bet in all those states that you see. You're not stuck with PrizePicks. So Onyx Odds is bet 10, get 100. Novig is bet 5, get 50. And then you see on there Underdog Fantasy, one of the bigger competitors to PrizePicks, is doing a bet 5, get 100. And then I don't know if I'm allowed, they didn't put any disclaimer, but they sent an email out. The bet 5 get 100 is going to go away in 1 week. It'll be bet 5 get 75. So you have 1 week. If you have not got Underdog, promo code fine around 11, bet 5 get 100. You have 1 week. So the link will be in the pinned comment and description for that. Thank you to anyone who uses those as well. Next one's gonna be a really good game. It's the Knicks versus Celtics. Knicks are 1.5 point favorites on the road. Both teams have covered in their last 4 games against the spread. Both teams are top 5 defensively. So not a fun one for scoring a lot of points. But the Knicks, they have no new significant injuries. And then the Celtics, Derek White is probable and will be returning from injury. So there's a lot of inconsistent props I see with this matchup. I had to really dig to try to find some ones that I liked because the matchups are just really tough. But you have guys who fight through the matchups and are just really good against certain teams. One of those guys is Jalen Brunson over his points and rebounds. So adding in the rebounds does boost the hit rate just a little bit. It's just 2 extra for the rebounds. So his points and rebounds, he had 31 points and 3 rebounds against the Celtics earlier in this year. And he has only missed in 4 games this season, and 3 of those misses were blowouts. So I do like Jalen Brunson for his points and rebounds and what should be a really tough to score game, but he always takes high volume and loves these type of games. This is where he shows out. And then for the Knicks, they actually do have a soft spot, and that's giving up threes. And this is not a good spot for them to be giving up threes. Celtics at Boston, they like to take a ton of threes, and when they get rolling in Boston and start knocking down threes, they just string some together one after another. Crowd goes crazy. So a 3-point shooter for the Celtics that has a really good line is Peyton Pritchard over his points plus rebounds. Adding in the rebounds gives the hit rate, makes it a little bit higher. So with Derek White this year and at home is what you see on the screen. He's hit that in 70% of games. Started off the year just terrible shooting from the 3. Didn't even take a high volume of threes to start off the year because he was just shooting so poorly. But his confidence has definitely gone up and he has been scoring a ton. He just had a huge game without Derek White there, but he's going to come back, so he's going to come back down to earth a little bit. But he's definitely a guy that gets a boost at home, and when his confidence is high, it's high, and when it's low, it's really low. So it's high right now, so I wouldn't fade Peyton Pritchard. So this is a tough game for a lean, but I always like the Celtics at home. Just the way they play their defense and they feed off the crowd. So like the Celtics there. Next one is the Timberwolves versus the Pelicans. Timberwolves are 9.5-point favorites. Pelicans have covered in 6 out of their last 8 games. So they have actually been pretty good. They've been getting really big spreads against them, and Zion Williamson's able to keep them in games. Trey Murphy's able to keep them in games. The Wolves have not covered in 5 out of their last 8. So the Wolves have no new injuries. Actually, they have no injuries at all. They're just completely healthy. And then for the Pelicans, Trey Murphy is questionable, and this is what worries me the most about this one. Herb Jones and Jordan Poole remain out. So we got to talk about Saddiq Bey, and I mentioned him before for his double-double, and it hit. It was a huge cash. He's averaging 10.5 rebounds a game with Herb Jones out this year. So 5 games in a row, he's averaging 10.5 rebounds. So you could go with the double-double. The Wolves are in the middle of the league when it comes to rebounds. He just went up against the Lakers, who are actually the matchup for the second toughest matchup for rebounds, and he was able to get 11 of them. So this is a lot softer of a matchup. I'm not saying it's soft, but it's softer than that matchup. So if he can do it against the Lakers, then he can get double digits against pretty much any team in the league. So double doubles at plus 575. I also do not hate taking where his rebounds are and doing some ladder bets, single bets up to 10, and as those hit, even if he comes up short at 9, you've probably profited. So that's something to take a look at too. So they just don't really bump his rebounds line up that high. Matchup is not the greatest in the world, so maybe that's why it's still plus money where it's at. But really like Saddiq Bey, and then he hasn't just been rebounding over these past 5 games with Herb Jones out, so he's consistently been scoring 20 points a game. And if Trey Murphy is out, he's going to get even more minutes, even more volume. He's already playing 34 minutes a game, so he could be up there, 30 8 minutes, almost 40 minutes if it's a close game with Trey Murphy out. But I do really think they need Trey Murphy there if they want this to be competitive. So for the Wolves, I understand there's high blowout potential, but a guy I do have to point out, because I have been pointing out good matchups, and that's what this channel is for, is analysis. I'm going to tell you who has a good matchup and who has been hot, and that is Anthony Edwards. This is the matchup for shooting guards, the most points to the shooting guard position. Last 5 games he has played, he is averaging 37 points per game. So unless this is a blowout early and he does not play in the fourth, I hopefully they can keep it competitive for at least 2.5 quarters and make him have to score and fight, because this is the best matchup for him and he is just hot right now. So I do like where his line is at. I would just feel better about it if Trey Murphy is playing, so we'll just have to wait. So as for a lean here, same thing with Trey Murphy. I don't know if they get within 10 if Trey Murphy is playing, but I definitely think they make it a sweat. But if he doesn't play, then I definitely lean the Timberwolves, who are healthy now on the road. So right now, I'm going to lean the Timberwolves. And this last game is the Thunder versus the Warriors. Thunder are an 11.5-point favorite. Thunder lost Isaiah Hartenstein for the next 2 weeks, and the Warriors will not have Steph Curry. Jimmy Butler is questionable, and Draymond Green is probable. For the Warriors, they just signed Seth Curry. So all the people who are looking to buy tickets, they see that S. Curry is still in the lineup, and they say, that's our guy. That's who we want to go watch, and they're going to be very disappointed when they show up. So the Thunder did blow out the Warriors on 11-11, and I want to just say welcome back to J-Dub. He has been killing his rebounds assist line. He has not been on a minutes restriction, playing near 30 minutes. So I do not hate where his rebounds assist line is at. I do think there's some blowout potential here, but Warriors give up the 7th most rebounds, and they're in the middle of the league for assists given up. I feel like this is a line that is going to increase as the season goes on, but I do like where it is at right now. Hit it in both games so far. I know in this video I haven't given an under, and this seems like a game with high blowout potential. Warriors lines, some of them are pretty high because Steph Curry is not playing. So I'm going to go with under on Jimmy Butler. The guy is going to get the most attention from the defense if he does play. So where his line is at, he has gone over 1 time with Steph Curry out this season, and he had 24 points against one of the worst defenses in the Pelicans. Barely went over his line against a terrible defense, and then he'll be going up against the Thunder. Otherwise, he has gone under in 74% of games this year, and then at home this year, he has gone under in 89% of games, only over in 1 game. So the Thunder held him to 12 points in that last blowout. And I do lean the Thunder here. They've just been like a machine. I don't know who's going to challenge them in the playoffs or in the finals. They're looking like they're going to repeat. They've had major injuries. Like J-Dub was out for the longest time, and they just destroying teams. It's just crazy. So just ride the wave with the Thunder on the spread. They keep covering. It's just really crazy to see, and just how good they are. So lean the Thunder here and to shut down Jimmy Butler. So that is 6 games. If you guys would like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. Hop on in there. Talk about basketball, football, all that good stuff. That is completely free. And then as far as a recap goes, I did put some extra analysis in the pinned comment. I don't remember exactly everything that was in there. I know Trey Jones from the Bulls was in there, and he crushed it with his points. I know Jay Huff, the center of the Pacers, I put in there for blocks, for 2 blocks. And then I had a ladder for 3 and 4 blocks against the Cavaliers because he had 4 and he had been crushing it. He did get the 3, so he got the extra plus money, and that he did not get the 4 for like plus 300 and whatever. And then I think I had Kobe White in there and he didn't play, and Luka Doncic double I put in there and that hit. So I also had the parlay of the day. Parlay of the days have just not been going that well. I had Cade Cunningham double and he got 8 assists, 8 rebounds. And for the Pistons to beat the Hawks by 5, who were on a back-to-back, and it made sense and everything, but it just didn't work out. So it's just sometimes the ones that make the most sense are the ones that don't happen. So it is what it is. I'll keep putting parlays of the days in there if you guys want to tell them, because I know one time I didn't put it in there and people were like, hey, where's the parlay of the day? I'm pretty much just putting it there because it rhymes. It is what it is. So say happy birthday to Luka, and I will get this edited and get it out to you all. God bless you. It's final round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.